What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Just the Betslips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only every day, no matter what, and that is to bring you the hot tips to help your bet slips. The man, the myth, the legend is back, ladies. I'm so stoked. First off, Joe, welcome back to the show. A fan favorite for everybody, Sir Joseph Vibrations. How are we feeling today, my guy? Welcome back.
I'm feeling good, dude. It's Masters Week. I'm playing well. My favorite golfer is playing well. I think I've been a little bit hot. I've been hot on the gambling streak. Because my thing is I don't watch any college basketball, and I just fucking go off strictly the numbers and absolutely no vibrations. And you know what's weird? I come out on top on March Madness usually. So we had a good March. We had an even better April when it comes to the golf game, and I am absolutely juiced to watch the Masters. We had a bunch of fun. We had a bunch of fun at the par 3 today. We had Keegan making hole-in-ones, Brooks making hole-in-ones. We had Tom Hoagie with multiple hole-in-ones. We had Aaron Rye's girlfriend absolutely sticking one. We have we have Tom. We have Billy Hobeg's daughter absolutely draining 12-footers. It was an absolute day. Masters Week is the best week of the year. It's the unofficial start of the golf season, and I am so pumped to be back on this show.
I've always said this one thing, and that it is not springtime until you hear Jim Nantz say "Hello, friends," a tradition like none other. And I think that goes for all three of us here, that we feel that way. And yeah, no, I'm pumped. I caught highlights. I'm gonna say that at work today because I'm not supposed to be doing things other than work. So I caught highlights. But then our other esteemed normal fellow of the show, Kel, how are you feeling today, my guy?
Normal. I don't know if you would really use that to describe me, but I'm doing pretty good. I got my first win the last show.
Off the snide.
Hey, shout out Fernando Tatis for getting that hit for me, boy. But anyway, I'm feeling good, and I'm hoping to continue that streak today.
Yeah, listen, Joe, it was a rough end of February of March, and it's been a rough April for the Kel Dog. His moniker underneath his name is 1,000% how he's feeling right now. And you'll see by the record, which I'm hoping. And then Pat was giving him the business.
It's just a setback for a major comeback, Kel. You're gonna come back strong. I believe in your sports knowledge. I believe in your gambling takes. I believe in your gambling picks, dude. This is just when like people like doubt you. It's gonna be like the first part of the championship DVD where everybody's like, yeah, dude, worst gambler on the show. This kid fucking sucks. And then like you go on an absolute heater, and that's when they produce the DVD. They're like, this kid got doubted, and now he's absolutely white hot.
Yeah, he's got the chip on his shoulder right now, and he's gonna come back firing, and we love every second of it.
And for the record, CJ, please vouch for me. My picks aren't bad.
No, they're not. They're just getting
bad.
They're getting
when
rough.
You go cold like that, you just miss by like a point, or like like it's not like you're just like completely like cold. It's just like you're just like missing by a half point every time.
Exactly.
The worst one, this will be the last thing before we get further into the show. The worst part was he sat there the last show and was like, I'm going to create a safe one. This guy has gotten a hit in like 11 straight games. He takes a minus 250 for Westberg to get a knock.
Oh, my God, dude.
And so Rob, because in solidarity he was trying to like reverse jinx for Kel, takes Westberg to not get a hit, goes under 0.5 hits. That was the bet he made at like plus 175 and smacks it because the guy for 11 straight it hadn't not gotten a hit all year and then
don't try to paint Rob as like a saving grace here because he's been fading me for a month now. So don't give me that crap.
It has been profitable for him. We'll just say that. We'll say that. But let's get into the disclaimer to make sure that we don't get sued. First off, we are not professional gamblers. This show is for fun and entertainment purposes only. Number 2, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. Do not gamble more than you can afford and only bet what you can afford to lose. And number 3, gambling can be addictive, so please seek help if you need it. Please utilize the resource 1-800-GAMBLER if you are able to use that. If gambling has become a problem for you because we don't want it to be. We want it to be fun, and we don't want it to be a issue. So we're not paid professional gamblers. Please gamble responsibly and at your own risk, and please utilize 1-800-GAMBLER. We are also not affiliated currently with any specific sportsbook. So if you hear a name on this show is not directly affiliated with any particular sportsbook. However, if you are a sportbook out there and you would like to sponsor us, we're free range at this point. So yeah, anybody willing, we're firing in. I'm in on it 1,000%. We do have one bet slip video in, and then we have a couple other bets from the people that are not on the show, and we have a special segment because of the man, the myth, the legend from 4 Dudes, 1 Cart, Joe Shear here. And if you saw the Twitter post, he's back.
I'm back.
But I've been saving that for months, for the record. That was in my phone
That's
for
such a
a
good
solid.
He's had it for a minute. He is
That was a
1,000%
gift
had it
lord,
for a
dude.
minute. But let's go ahead and jump right in it. Our man, the myth, the legend, Sir Thomas of House Stats, coming in with the bet slip. That's where we're starting today before we get into the rest of the segments. Sir Thomas, take it away, my friend.
Let's go.
How to make a bet slip. Joey Vibes is in the house.
Let's go.
I am going to be absolutely psychotic and go back to the well that's been leaving me very dry. Red Sox money line. They got to win a game. I think if they are going to win one, it's with Tanner Houck on the mound compared to Walker Buehler, who hasn't exactly looked good so far this year. Also going with the underdog, going with the Fighting Phils over the Atlanta Braves. Give me Joe Ryan, 6+ strikeouts. That's another bold one. And go ahead and give me 2 straight money lines. Give me the Milwaukee Brewers over the Rockies. And give me the Cleveland Guardians over the White Sox. Let's go.
I mean,
I love
he
Tom,
had some other bets out there too that he gave me personally, but that's why I was shocked with the Red Sox. I was like, what? He's taking the Red Sox.
He just went off
without
vibes,
Romeo?
dude. Sometimes you just got to go off vibes, dude.
Sometimes you do. You would know, Sir Joseph. You would know.
Yeah.
Oh, too
Know
well.
a lot about it.
All about the vibes. But let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the segments. He already talked about the underdog, so that's where we're going right now. It is the cutest slip in all of sports betting. It is
dainty slip.
the underdog slip. That's right. It is brought to you by my puppo here in the top left, RIP Emma, the massive Corgo that just ripped one on the couch. This guy who is just jumping back and forth, ears, and then little Kello doggo. Little Kello doggo
That's
down there at the
Kellen?
bottom.
That's
That's
pretty
Kello.
goddamn cute, dude. You look like the dude who licked the pole in fucking in A Christmas Story.
In
You're
a
so
Christmas
cute,
story. You
dude.
look like Ralphie.
Oh, Jesus.
with the red hat.
The underdog slip today. I mean, Tommy Stats said it. Listen, we're just going with one squad tonight, and it's the Phillies money line. I never thought to this day that we would sit here and think that the Phillies money line was a good bet with Tyon Walker on the hill. However, Tyon looked good in his first outing. I think he's got something to prove this year, and he's trying to keep that rotation spot and trying to force the Phillies to go ahead and trade Ranger Suarez before the deadline. And you know what? If he's able to pull it off, that's great. But Phillies are a dog tonight in Atlanta, so you're getting it at plus 118 on Can Fuel. If that's your sport book of choice, I don't know what you have them on some other ones, but Can Fuel's got it at plus 118. But yeah, that is the underdog slip for the day. Like we said, we promise you.
Can I make
Sure.
a quick point on
Absolutely.
just like lines in general now?
Sure.
As somebody who's been gambling for a decade, the legalization of sports betting has done the exact opposite to the lines and the competitiveness than I thought it would. You go on sports books now, and nobody is within 5 cents of each other. Like they're all within 5 cents every single line, and that was like the whole point. I thought the whole point of like legalizing sports betting is like you would get better odds, and like in books trying to entice different bettors in different markets to try to like use their book because they have a better line. And I think it's almost made it worse where people like don't like, I feel like these books like almost like know what their market is and how they corner it. And I just like, I don't know. I just like, I've been building this take for a while as somebody who's been like in the game for a little bit. And I thought that legalization of sports betting would create a more competitive and a better market for the consumer. And I think it's been the exact opposite.
I don't know. I don't hate your take. I think a majority of them get together, but because, especially in football, pretty much everybody is spread out and there's so much money involved that you don't get the disparities. But in NBA, for example, I've seen different lines at different places, and it's all because they originally set it with the handicappers, and then depending on the money to the specific book, they always try to make sure that no matter which side of the coin, they make VIG. That's what they want to live on is VIG.
But you look at like you can either like look at like the first touchdown and like anytime touchdown scorer odds between like 2023 and 2024. Like they're completely different numbers. And I don't know. I agree.
Well,
I agree with what you're saying.
These
books are going to do whatever they have to do to make money because they're obviously money making institutions. Like I totally understand that, and I appreciate the fact that like the American people have voted in such a way that like we get to like bring like gambling to a forefront because I think it can be a useful tool for like commerce. Like there's definitely a market there. It gives a lot of people jobs and a lot of people hope. But like it just, I don't know. It just seems a little bit too collusionary that all of these, that it's just all driven by AI and algorithms now. So there's really not a lot of like, there's just no risk involved for there's a disproportionate amount of risk involved for the consumer versus the book is what
I will give you that. I think they caught on to touchdowns and how lucrative anytime touchdowns could be. The first couple years, they just didn't know how to do it. And now I think
they lost
realized
money. They just did, the handle was just wrong. You know what I mean? They just like what they like you move the line when it's over leveraged. Don't put out a bad line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I'll give you that. I understand where you're at there. I think it's just they know they're going to get people to do it.
I'm off. I'll get off my soapbox. We can burn it.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't hate the soapbox. I think they went, well, we can get it at this worst line anyway. But there are places that give you better lines. Soft paper for Keldog just absolutely trashes him on prop bets. But he gets better lines for just standard games. Like I'm pretty sure he's probably got the fills at probably minus 125 or something like that. Like it all depends on where you're at. Like if you're going straight props for like NBA, soft paper is where you go. But if like anytime touchdown scores, it was all about can fuel for me. So it just depends. There's some places that give you a little bit better stuff, but it's just where you at.
I got my anger out. We're good.
I love it. I'm pretty sure the next segment is the specialty, and we talked about it a little bit. And it's green. Oh no, it's not. It's mine. It's my segment. It is the performance doubles of the day, brought to you by the PD King. Hi, the PD King is right here. I have 4 massive performance doubles for you guys today, all baseball related. All a little bit later. But as Tommy already said, the Guardians money line, huge. I like Logan Allen to get me 5 Ks and the Guardians money line tonight. Logan Allen is let me look here. I want to say versus this lineup, when I was looking at it earlier, he has a K percentage of around 35% versus this lineup. And I'm actually pulling that up right now to make sure I'm not a liar. 23% versus this White Sox lineup, and anybody facing the White Sox lineup, I'm going to take their Ks on it. So give me Logan Allen 5+ Ks plus the Guardians money line. Both those happen. You getting plus 161. Next, Tyler Alexander and the Brewers money line tonight. Tyler Alexander is going up against this Rockies team in Colorado, which scares me a little bit to go with the Ks. That's the reason why I was originally going to go 5, but I went down to 4. He's got a 19K percentage versus 21 plate appearances versus this Rockies lineup. If he gets through 5, I think he gets this number. He's also induced a lot of light contact with high launch angle, so he's definitely a fly ball pitcher. And with a little bit of a rise that you get a little extra in Colorado. I think his fastball will rise up and he can get some swings underneath it. So go ahead and get me 4 Ks for Tyler Alexander plus a Brewers money line victory there. And then I talked about him, Taijuan Walker. I mean, listen, he looked good his first outing. If he can get out of the first inning, I like him to get 4+ Ks, go through 6 innings tonight and get me 4+ Ks and the Phillies to get the win tonight. They're going up against Grant Holmes with Atlanta, who hasn't been great in his one outing against the Phils, didn't even last 4 innings. So go ahead and give me Taijuan Walker and the Phillies on the money line. That's the big money bet there. And then Seth Lugo, give me 5+ Ks and a Royals money line tonight versus the Minnesota Twins. I know Joe Ryan is a strikeout machine versus this Kansas City Royals team, but Kansas City's at home, and I will always take Kansas City at that point. And Seth Lugo, I feel like he can definitely get me 5 Ks. So those are your performance doubles of the night. Kel, what say you about the performance doubles today?
I love them all, especially that the Guardians one against the White Sox. I can't name I can name more people on Savannah Bananas right now than I can on the White Sox. So any strikeout bet against them is just money in my book.
Fair enough. And listen, I made a lot of money betting against the White Sox. And then, of course, I martingaled the White Sox, and they almost screwed me. But I thankfully got my money back last year for them getting that last win in the last 3 games. So thank you, White Sox, for making me money and then scaring me to almost losing money last year. But they didn't. But now I believe I am correct on this next one. Yes, and it is in honor of the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joe. This is his personal slide pretty much. I dabbled a little in there, but this is his slide. It's green. It is for the Masters. A tradition like none other. And it is all the Masters bets. And, of course, I had to have a couple of the more iconic moments of the Masters. First, you have Zach Thomas taking the practice swing, hitting the ball into the marker, and then kicking it out on 13.
Dude, he's done that so many times, dude.
It's so many times. And then, of course, Jack making the massive putt on 18. I think we're starting with top 10 best bets for top 10 finishes. What say you here, Mr. Shear?
So my bet here is Nikolai Hogard. If you guys have ever watched golf before, if you guys ever tuned in on Sunday, and I'm not talking about Sunday afternoon, I'm talking about Sunday morning. When you see the DP World Tour come on before Golf Today or whatever the hell they call it now, Nikolai Hogard is a beast on the DP World Tour. If you were watching Sunday at the Masters last year and you were paying attention, he was leading when he had 3 or 4 holes left. He ended up bogeying his way home with a T16 finish. So I got Nikolai Hogard, who's played well at the Masters. He would have been a T5, probably top 5, probably top 10 finish if he didn't absolutely crap his pants last year. So he's played well at the Masters before. He's a big game player. He's won a lot on the DP World Tour. He's had a lot of success on the DP World Tour. So I think a top 10 finish here. His game suits the course. So I think 10-1 here to just come in top 10. I think with a soft course this week, I think it'll be easy money there.
Absolutely. You're also getting ties with this with these bets, by the way. I'm taking 2 live golfers and then a golfer who's been playing pretty lights out and consistent with the other 3.
Even though he hates his fucking swing.
You talking Hovland?
Yeah, dude. He won the dude. I was at the Valspar. This dude is going berserk Saturday and Sunday, and then he hits the podium and is like, "Yeah, I didn't hit it how I wanted to this week." I'm like, dude, you can go. That's the hardest non-major course on tour. That's the hardest non-major course on tour.
Yep.
He comes in, rips off 12 or 13 under par, and tells you he didn't play well. Get the hell out of here, dude.
Good old Victor Hovland. He's one of the best ball strikers on the tour this year, and that's what you have to do to make your way around Augusta. And then I like Sergio. I always like his game. You don't have to be massively long to play the Masters well, and so I feel like Sergio has a good showing this week. And Joaquin Niemann's been playing really well on the LIV Tour, so let me go ahead and see Joaquin Niemann get a top 10 finish. I think next is the not top 10 players that we think could finish well or even win.
I don't even bet unders, dude. I could never bet a not top 10.
not top 10 to pull it off. Listen, it's just JJ Spawn. I mean, he had his literally the blow up at the Players for that playoff round, but he played well at the Players.
What did you feel about him peeking in Rory's bag and then absolutely dunking one?
Yeah, and then just putting it deep. I mean,
well, I don't know. We'll get to it with the Rory stuff, but I have some aggressive takes on Rory, and I think that is the Players really magnified it.
I don't blame you by all stretch of the imagination. I do not blame you, but I think JJ Spawn has an outside chance to a player that's not in the top 10 of players that I think could possibly win this thing if he starts out well, and that's what he did at the Players. He had a really good Thursday and a really strong Friday, and then he kind of like coasted in, and he fell apart on Sunday. Lucky to limp in and get in there for that playoff on Monday, but. If he starts out strong, I think he's got an outside chance to possibly get the job done. And you're getting it at 120 to 1, 120 to 1. So why not? And then I like Shane Lowry. He's also got a really, really good pairing for Thursday, Friday with guys, and he plays better when the group around him plays well. So give me Shane Lowry as an outside chance to possibly win this thing, or even if you like him for a top 10, I don't hate that either. But I like JJ Spawn and Shane Lowry there. Shall we go to the top 5 best bets here? You have 2 on this list. Go ahead and fire off the 2 here, Joey Shear.
All right, so the Phil Mickelson, I'm left-handed golfer. I wear joggers. I wear fucking Nike, Nike. Well, the Jordan 1 golf shoe. So I am a spitting image of Phil, maybe a little heftier, but like a spitting image of Phil on the course. So
old Phil spitting image of
Phil, what he had a T2, was it last year or the year before?
I think
he always plays well at the Masters. Left-handed players at the Masters always have an advantage. Phil is a master around the green. It's not about hole and putts. It's about getting it close and 2-putting and not making bogeys. So I think Phil top 5 at 14 to 1 after he's proven that he's won a major after 50. He's had a top 5 finish after 50 at the Masters. So I feel like 14 to 1, a little sprinkle is a pretty safe bet. So I believe a lot in the analytics when it comes to the Masters. There's a lot of like things that like you'll really never see is like first time players winning the Masters. I don't think that's happened in 50 years. There's I think it was Gene Sarazen was the last one in like the early
his first win ever was at the Masters. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of preclusions that bar you from winning the Masters. And I think Akshay Bhatia right now has broken through a lot of those barriers, and I see him kind of as a Ludwig Aberg this year, where he makes he has a great Thursday, Friday, maybe a decent Saturday, and then has a good Sunday. Maybe not takes it home, because I think even though he's gotten a lot better putting when he switched to the broomstick, because I think a lot of taller players are switching to the broomstick. I think it's just more conducive to making putts and 2-putting from long distances. But Akshay at 9 to 1 to come in top 5 after the year he's having, after the momentum he has, is how he's played at the end of last year into the beginning of this year. Given the fact that he played in the Masters last year, which is a huge deal. Like having experience on this golf course is such an advantage. So I think all of those things put together, I'm not too confident in him coming in first, second, and really challenging for this major. But I think 9 to 1 is more than good enough odds to take him to come top 5.
Yeah, and I really like Akshay. I think he's had a really good stretch of about 4 years.
Dude, the Tinder story about pulling the girl off Tinder and making her caddy for him is just the most golf thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, 1,000% power. Kel wishes he could pull that one off.
Wait, Kel, do you know that story?
I don't. I'm very shocked at the story right now.
So Akshay, I think he was on the Corn Ferry Tour or something. He was long story. He was without a caddy, and he was on Tinder, and he just like messaged this girl, like, "Hey, will you caddy for me?" She did, and they ended up getting married. He proposed to her. I think they're engaged to get married. I don't know if they've gotten married yet, but So that's how he got to the tour like with this girl on the bag, like in a Corn Ferry event off Tinder. Like,
that's awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know what? I saw this name for a top 5 finish in Step
Wait,
Straka.
real quick
go
before we
ahead.
get off caddies, real quick.
Sure.
What's your opinion of Grenier leaving Homa and going over to JT's bag this week? I know JT's caddy got hurt and he can't make the Masters, but I think there's a little bit more to that story than
I think there is too.
because it's best friends breaking up, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of caddies moving right before a massive tournament. Like like stick with the girl that you took to the dance, right? At that point,
Yeah.
like you've kind of
Dance with the one who brought you.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, dance with the girl that you brought. I'm a big fan of staying true to the guy that that put you there. I get making a move in the off season. I get, but like mid season, especially here, I don't think it's a good look. Just me personally. More
I
about.
agree. It's just, a lot of golf is about optics and being confident and not having that little voice in the back of your head. And I think that this kind of adds to a lot of the stuff that Max is probably trying to chase from. I'm just saying.
It could be a very, very valid point there. I took Sepp Straka to finish top 5. At 9-1, I feel like that's a really good number. He hasn't been playing the best as of late, but for some odd reason, I saw that name at 9-1 and was like, really?
I like this bet a lot too.
Yeah, he's been solid. He hasn't been upper echelon as of late, but he's been playing solid golf. And if he puts it together, easy top 5 finishing at 9-1. I can't say no to that bet. It's just, something to throw out.
We make a lot out of like the short game and the putting at Augusta, but you need to be able to hit fades and draws off the tee. You need to be able to hit like long irons to certain spots and be really accurate with your 8 through 5 iron. You know what I mean? And I think Sepp has I think his claim to fame on tour is he's a pretty complete player.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to have it all. So, and I mean, there's a lot of luck involved too, but at the same time, you gotta be able to put yourself into good spots. So I like Sepp Straka, finished top 5 today, this weekend, excuse me. And then the last section of this, our favorite winner picks. You've got 2, I've got 1. Go ahead and hit with your 2.
All right, so we have a lot of live guys on the board here. We got Phil, we've got Joaquin, we've got Sergio, we've got Bryson. My Bryson pick. I think the live guys are incredibly undervalued here. I wanted to sprinkle Brooks too, but I just think like after 2023, I think that was his chance to win, and I think I love him as a player, and I think he could probably. I think I would be confident in him winning another major again, but I can't be blind to Bryson at 20-1. Bryson effing DeChambeau at 20-1 to win a major. Are you kidding me? Multiple time U.S. Open winner, objectively a top 5 golfer in the world. I don't care what effing tour he plays on. It goes Scotty, Rory, and then fucking Bryson. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who's playing well, who's doing what. Bryson is a top 3, top 5 player in the world regardless. And I think this just shows the disrespect. I'm not a big live guy. I don't watch live, but Bryson is the best driver I'm a Rory guy, and Bryson is the best driver of the golf ball on earth. He's figured out his putting. He's not a great putter. He doesn't hold a lot of putts, but he's not 3-putting a lot anymore. He's figured out his short game. He's incredible with his irons. He can hit a fade and a draw with his irons, and people don't understand how important being able to work the ball both ways out of multiple different windows that it is at the Masters. Because if you're challenging pins on Sunday to try to win a tournament, there's a couple places you don't want to fly the ball over. So being able to fade or cut or draw the ball over certain hazards, bunkers, and stuff like that is a real asset to you winning the Masters. And I think Bryson is somebody who checks all of those boxes. So I have stats here. I'm not going to read them all off. And this is going to roll into my Rory pick here. So there's, like I said, I'm big into stats. There's no first time winners. There's no people who don't play well the first 2 days. There's players who haven't played well. There's no players that don't play well, like leading up to the tournament. There's all these stats, and every single there's the stats lead from 7 players all the way up to 15 players. And every time I see one of these stats, Rory and Bryson are at the top. every single time. So Rory at 20-1 as a live guy, I think is an absolute great bet. And I'm a Rory stan. Rory is going to be the first player in 25 years, I think it will be, to complete the career Grand Slam. He will be the first player in 70 years to complete the career Grand Slam at the Masters tournament. The weight of the world is on Rory. I think he plays the best golf in his career when his back is against the wall. And I think a couple press conferences recently have led me to believe that his mentals are in probably the best shape they've been in the last couple years. So Colin Morikawa lost that tournament where Russell Henley, I think, chipped in on the 16th hole, eagled, ended up taking him over, and Colin ended up leaving the tournament without talking to the media. Almost the same in the same style as Rory did when he lost the 2024 U.S. Open to Bryson, when Bryson hit that nasty bunker shot and made par on 18. He came out and said that when he was asked about the Colin thing, he came out and said that basically, like, I agree with what Colin did. He doesn't really owe anything to anybody, but I don't agree with how he said, like, how he went about it. He could have been a little bit more cordial. And then the last part of his answer, and I'm almost done after this, the last part of his answer, he said that you get your heart broken so many times, you end up being gun shy to love. You end up not wanting to get your heart broken again. But once you break through and get your heart broken enough, you realize that the sun still rises and you still get out of bed the next day. So I feel like even though Rory is one of the most competitive, like badass, in my opinion, one of the most competitive badass dudes on tour, like doesn't really give a fuck what anybody says about him and just goes out and plays really well and shoves it down everybody's throat. I think that realization from him is like almost more fuel to my Rory fandom. And I'm like, I think this is really the year that he gets it done because he knows that he's still one of the best golfers of all time. But if he takes this home, it takes him to the upper echelon where he really belongs.
I love every part of that, to be very clear. I'm a big fan of Rory. I saw Bryson at 20-1 and went, holy crap, that's a good line. And then another one, especially with how well he's been playing as of late, is Alberg. He came so close, and I think this is the year that he could possibly break through. And at 18-1, you're just sitting here going, really? I mean, I watched with this guy. You probably weren't. I don't know if you watched TGL that much, but that man was on fire at TGL.
It's the straight ball better than anybody right now.
Yeah. And to be very clear, just was good, cool, calm, collected the entire time. Big fan of Alberg's game. Yes, he can work it. Is he the best worker of the golf ball ever? No, but I think he's good enough that he can get it done at Augusta. So go ahead and give me Alberg to get the W at 18-1. Here.
One more Rory stat here. Rory stat here. The Players Tournament missed over 50% of fairways, hit less than 50% of fairways, and was in the top 10 strokes gained putting. He's in the top 10 strokes gained putting since the end of the 2024 season. So if there's ever a time to bet on Rory to win the Masters, I think it's right now.
I don't hate that. I also have a bet on the tabletop that would agree with the fact that I think Rory has a pretty solid week this week as well. All right. Done with the Masters talk. Now it is the most talked about parlay in all of sports gambling. It is the 750 Club. We're dancing. We're going to the club. We are making things happen. There is one rule of Fight Club. Joe Shear, what is that one rule of Fight Club?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
You don't talk about Fight Club. Kel, what is the one rule of the 750 Club?
You tell everyone about it.
You tell every single person you can find about the 750 Club. We want it to be the most bet parlay in all of sports gambling. And so it is the exact opposite of Fight Club. You tell everybody except for Paul Rudd. There's the only person you do not tell. You do not tell Paul Rudd. There's the only person you don't tell. If you know Paul Rudd and he asks about the 750 Club, don't tell him. It's like Fight Club at that point. Yeah, don't tell Paul Rudd. You don't tell Paul Rudd.
If I find out that somebody watching this fucking told Paul Rudd about this, I'm gonna freak the fuck out, dude.
Just nobody tell Paul Rudd. But here's the parlay of the day. DeMar DeRozan, give me 30 plus pra tonight. This is a dude.
Could
This is
not
a
love that
Rob
pick more.
special for DeMar DeRozan 30-plus pra this evening. Big fan of that one. We already heard Tommy Stats talk about the Ryan 6+ Ks. Keldog, you have the Wild money line.
Yes. So I have Wild money line. I have that paired with another pick that you'll see on the tabletop. But Wild money line, so easy. They're playing the Sharks. They're playoff bound. They're a 2.5 goal favorite right now on the puck line, according to my sportsbook of They Make Me Use It. I liked Wild money line, and we just needed another addition to the 750 club. So that's
Absolutely. And then I have the Rays money line and Pepino 6+ Ks. He is striking out the Angels lineup at a 35.3% clip in his career. So give me 6+ Ks at home at Steinbrenner Field. Versus this Angels lineup who has been surprisingly decent this year. A weird take here. Mike Trout wins his first Gold Glove, but this time in right field. First time winning Gold Glove in right field this year. Early prediction there. But yes, give me this Rays money line and Pepino 6+ Ks tonight. And you're getting the 750 club at 8:46 this evening. So if you can go ahead and rock it with us and tell every single person about this bet, because we want as many people betting this, and hopefully we get a W here and the 750 club. We've been close. We only missed on a Dodgers money line versus the Nationals. Who thought the Dodgers would lose to the Nationals on Monday night? Yeah, I did. No, I did. Yeah, because it was your pick, Kel. Yeah, everything else hit except for that.
Once again, who thought the Dodgers would lose to the Nationals?
Again, I'm with you, and especially when Shohei went bridge. Like, who would have thought? But they did. Hopefully, we get the 750 club moving and going. So tell everybody, welcome to the club. Minions involved as well. That's what we're hoping for. So that is that. Now we get to the last part of this show. It's green. It's soft. It's plushy. It is the tabletop. As we get Kel to rotate over. Sir Thomas of House Stats, he brought in the Seth Lugo, the Joe Ryan, and the Phillies money line is his main three this evening. Keldog, here is yours in rocking some PDs.
I am. I need to make up some units right now, so we are just going all out, hoping for the best. So for starters, I got Schwarb's 1+ hit and Phillies money line. We are all on the Phillies tonight. That was part of our underdog slate there. Schwarb's, on the other hand, leadoff hitter, 324 batting average to start the year. He just needs to hit against a very weak, very underperforming Braves squad. So I think Schwarb's, a former World Series champion with the Chicago Cubs, no big deal, will get the job done. Secondly, I got Hartman 2+ shots on goal and a Wild money line. Like I said, Wild, they're playing a very lackadaisical San Jose Sharks squad. And Hartman, this is hit in 4 of his last 5 games. 2 shots on goal. I think he's just going to be firing at the net. He should be able to get this done. And then finally, Brendan Doyle, 2+ total bases. He has at least 1 hit in each of his last 5 games. He's 316 at home, 273 batting average on the year. He's their leadoff man. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. He's going to touch 2 bases tonight.
Love it. Next, Rob, the parlay guy, could not send in a video, but here's his parlay of the day. He's got Luka with 25+ points. He has Austin Reeves with 25+ pra. Anthony Davis coming back from injury at 20+ points. And then Max Christie, 10+ points and rebounds combined tonight. I don't know what the final number he got it at, as he did not send that in, but usually he's around 3-1. So go ahead and smack with Rob, the parlay guy. He did say that he wants to be called Butter from now on because the man's on a roll. Do want to throw that one out there for the people. And next, last but certainly not least, Sir Joseph Vibrations kind of hit all of these with the Masters talk, but those are his official bets for everybody out there. He's taken the Rory, he's taken the Bryson, Akshay Bhatia and Phil to finish top 5, and then Hogard with that 10-1 to finish in the top 10. Love every second of it. I'm a big fan of it. Any other major bets you want to throw out there, Sir Joseph?
No, not really at all. I just
All right.
I just want to reiterate how unbelievable Masters Week is, and I just can't. And oh wait, one other dark horse I have. I don't know how much of a dark horse he is since he's been playing well this year, but look for Colin Morikawa to play really well this weekend.
I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that because it's time for this. I actually have Morikawa on my slip.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
I have my 4 PDs up there, but then I also have Auberg to win as my big one. But then I also have a bet, which is Scheffler, McIlroy, Morikawa, or Schauffele to win. Any one of those 4 to win, and I get it. I'm basically a little bit over even money. And then I also have another bet, which is Bryson DeChambeau to be the winner if you don't include Morikawa, Rahm, Auberg,
That's
McIlroy, or
unbelievable
Scheffler.
odds, dude. Oh my god. Oh, one more one I want to. We don't have to add it here, but I'll just throw it out for the people. Any live player to win plus 300 on DraftKings right now.
Wow. You know,
That's
to tell you the truth,
12
I like
golfers. That's 12 golfers, including Bryson DeChambeau, and Brooks Koepka and Joaquin Neiman. It's just insane.
Yeah, there are a lot of really good players on the Live Tour.
And John Rahm.
You know what?
Holy shit. Yeah,
And
plus
Rahm,
300
yeah.
to get that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, I love all of those bets, by the way. Because I get Auberg at 18-1. So if he hits, but if he doesn't hit, I feel like it's one of those 4. And then if it's not one of those 4, then I think it's DeChambeau. So I get all of them covered.
And I think there's also a universe where Bryson might win this by 5 or 6 strokes. Like I think there might, because I think if there's a universe where he gets white hot with the driver and can just fade it and draw it around every fucking corner at Augusta, and he's hitting fucking 8-iron in every par 5, like there's gonna be some. He said it was a par 67 one year, and I think that was old Bryson, but I think new Bryson has respect for these golf courses, and I think that. I think there is a alternate universe where Bryson is literally 18, 19 under and nobody's within 5 strokes.
Yeah, I mean, that would be crazy. It would be like DJ COVID year, right? DJ went minus 20
that was in November
when he won in 2020.
Yeah, it would, dude. But it was soft. It's going to be soft. It's going to be a little soft this week. I think the winning score is going to be 12 to 15. I think it's going to be somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Interesting thoughts. But that is going to wrap it up for today's show. Anybody else have a last call before I throw up the records and we get the heck out of here?
No.
Nope. Nothing.
Boys.
Joe, I appreciate you for dude. Anytime you want to come, that link I gave you, anytime you jump in, I don't care. You know me. We can prov it up any day of the week. Keldog.
I want to get on here with Pat, dude. I want to give Pat some shit.
Dude, any day you want to come in, you are more than welcome. You got the link now. Jump on in. I unfortunately, Kel, I have to throw it up, Captain Underpants. I have to do it. I have to put it up there. That record's wrong because we didn't update it. We did not update it to have Kel's record up. Everything else is correct. But Mr. 60% poolside Pat is in the negative now. After he sat there and was trying to make you feel good with his 18 and 18, you just grabbed him and drove him back in.
Did you tell Joe this story by chance before we end this?
I did not. I did not tell Joe the story of the fact that you were 0 and 11 on there. Pat was 18 and 18. He's like, I'm so close to you, Kel.
Exactly. The audacity of this man. We go to the records. I'm 0 and 11. Like CJ just said. I'm 0-11. He's 18 and 18. He's trying to be nice. He's like, I'm so close to you, man. You're good. You're all set. Meanwhile, he's 500. I don't have a win on the month. I'm like, what are we doing?
And he goes 1 and 9 to end the month.
So it has been a trek, but hopefully we get an underdog slate win. That would be huge for the program, a 750 club, and then hopefully the performance doubles of the day keep going over 500. But again, that's going to wrap it up for the show today. Joe, thanks for coming on as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Hello, friends. Always remember, it's a tradition like none other. It is the Masters, and it is always the official start of spring. We will be back on Friday evening as we record the podcast tomorrow. So check out the podcast at Friday at 6 a.m. And check us out Friday evening. Joe, feel free to jump in if you want. But that's going to wrap it up for today's show of Just the Bet Slips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only, and that is to bring you the hot tips to help your bet slips. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one, guys. Take it easy. Responsibly go and chase that bag.